Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions.
Good day, friends, and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Hetty, and let's say hello to my friend. Our theme for this week is colors. But before we start with our work for today, let's sanitize our hands. We take our sanitizer, we spray it on the inside of our hands, and we rub our hands together, and we also rub on the back side and between our fingers, and we give our hands an all-round squishy squashy, and we are set and sanitized. Today's lesson is about comparison and the letter T. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed the lesson on letter C. Remember, cars can cruise down curvy C and stop just near the ground. I hope you enjoyed coloring all the pictures and you enjoyed making the wave pattern. Now, let's remember to practice the letter C by saying K. Today's lesson is on page 21 in our booklet. Let's turn to page 21. Now, today's letter is about, it's letter T. It's letter T. Now let's think about letter T. When you hold your hands in front of you, you will see that letter T can be one straight hand and one flat hand, and this will give us an idea of what letter T looks like. Now let's write the letter T. We start at the top of the line, we go straight down, and just near the ground, we give him a kick, a round curvy kick, and we make a straight line on the line in the middle. That's how we make letter T. We start at the top of the line, we go straight down, and just below the ground, we make a kick, a round curvy kick, and a straight line on the line. Now let's look at some items that starts with the letter T. Let's look at toothpaste. Toothpaste. Let's look at another one. Toothbrush. What sound would T make? T would say T, T. Oh, and another one. A car is a toy. What sound would it make? T. It would make the sound T. Now, let's go to page 21. Now, if you look at page 21, you'll see the tap and we'll see the letter T. Now, let me just show you the letter T. Okay, so we said letter T starts at the top of the line, goes straight down, and makes a curvy kick. And then in the middle, you draw a straight line. Okay, so now on page 21, we have some blocks for you to fill in. Remember to trace against the line and use your pencil. Keep your workbook neat. Excuse me, friends. And now if we go to page 22, we'll find that we have a whole lot of pictures that starts with the letter T. Let's look at the pictures. Tractor, tent, tomato. Cat? No, cat doesn't start with the letter T. It ends with the letter T, but we want pictures that starts with the letter T. The beginning sound should be T, the letter T. Car. Does car start with it? No. If they said toy, we could color it. But now let's just look at the ones that starts with the letter T. Tractor, tomato, tent. They all make the sound T. Well, I hope you enjoyed the lesson on the letter T. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed the lesson on the letter T and all the words that you've learned that starts with letter T. Just remember, tree starts with T. Talking to your friend, T. And your tongue also starts with T. Now, let's look at the letter T to remember. Remember, we start at the top of the line and we go and make a curve just near the ground and we kick out with the curve and we make a straight line on the middle line. Now, I would like you to turn to page 23. And on page 23, I would like you to make a little bit of some comparison. I want you to look at the pictures very carefully before we are going to color them. Look at the top line. If you look carefully at the top line, something about the pictures is different. Some of them look the same. One of them does not look like the others. This means we are comparing the one to the other. So I would like you to color the one that looks different. And then you move to the apples. Which one looks different? You may color that one. Now look at the clocks. Which one looks different? And at the bottom of the line, you first need to trace the circles before you can find the one that looks different. If you compare, you'll see that one of the pictures in each row is not the same as the others. This is how you would compare. I hope you enjoy page 23, because if we turn to page 24, we have a lovely exercise for you. Just an exercise that you may enjoy. Remember, if you look at the page on page 24, there's a scissor along the line. So first you need to cut out the page before you can paste it again and color it in. You can color the bear any color that you like. Enjoy coloring this exercise, and remember, if you don't know how to cut out, you may ask mommy or daddy to help you to cut out the picture for you. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed the lesson on the letter T and how to make comparisons. Now, if we want to make a comparison, remember, bananas are different from grapes. Bananas are different from grapes. When we compare things, we see that they are not the same. We also learned about the letter T. Remember, we said letter T, or the letter T starts at the top of the line and we go straight down and we give a curvy kick and we make a straight line in the middle of the line. Let's remember, we said things that start with the letter T. For example, a toy, or at home, toilet paper. Toilet paper. I hope you enjoyed that lesson, but before we conclude our lesson for today, let's sanitize our hands. We spray on the inside with the sanitizer. We rub our hands together and on the back side of our hand and between our fingers, And we give our hands a lovely squishy squashy, and we are all set and sanitized. Friend, where is Zoshi? Oh, Zoshi, let's say bye to our friends.
Hi everyone, I'm Josie and I'm back. Even though the schools are closed, I thought about we can still do online classes, learning and reading. You can also do your schoolwork. Until next time, bye!
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions.
Good day, friends. Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Hetty. Let's also say hello to my friend. Our theme for this week is all about colors. But before we start with our lesson for today, let's sanitize our hands. We take our sanitizer, we spray it on the inside of our hands, and we rub our hands together, and on the back side of our hands, and between our fingers, and we give our hands a lovely squishy squashy, and we are all set and sanitized for today. Our lesson today is about similarity, counting, and the letter K. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed the lesson that we did on comparison and the letter T. Remember we said the letter T starts straight down the line and gives a curvy kick at the end, and just near the ground we do the curvy kick, and we do a straight line across on the middle line. On comparison, remember we said bananas are different from apples. We get a lot of different things around us. Nothing is the same. I hope you enjoyed the lesson on the letter T and comparison. Now we are going to start with our new lesson for today. Our new lesson is all about the letter K. Let's look at how we should make the letter K. Remember how you straighten your back always? Straighten your back. Letter K always straightens his back, and he gives 2 sideways kicks. We start at the top of the line, we go straight down near the ground, and we stop just near the ground. We do a sideways kick from the middle of the line and a sideways kick near the ground. That is our letter K. What sound does the letter K make? Let's look at examples of the letter K. We have a kettle, kettle, k, kettle, k. let's look at another example. Wow, what is this? Keys. Yes, keys. The letter K makes the sound K. Well, I would like us to turn to page 26. On page 26, we see we have a key on the page. How do we make the letter K? We give him a straight back with 2 sideways kicks in the middle of the line. And now, let's zoom in on the lowest part of the page. Remember, letter K is a straight line and 2 sideways kicks. Enjoy the tracing. Do this exercise with your pencil so that you can erase and try as many times as you can. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed the lesson on the letter K. Let's look at things that starts with the letter K, just to recap a little bit. We said kettle starts with the letter K, and it says K. Let's look at another one. We said key. Key starts with the letter K, and it says K. Now, let's just look again at the letter K. Remember, we said he has a straight back and he does 2 sideways kicks. Now, let's turn to page 27. Friends, I hope you've enjoyed the work so far that you've done in your workbook. I also hope that you have kept your workbook neat. Now, let's look at the comparison on that page. Remember, we spoke about all the fruits and all the lovely colors. Now, before you color this page, let's look at the comparison. You have to find the one that is exactly the same as the one on the left side. You may start at the top of the line, and if you wish, you can use a ruler, and if you don't have a ruler, you can use your free hand. You may use a pencil or a crayon. You can join from the dot where the picture is at the top, and you find the matching pair and join it to the same dot. Remember to start at the dot and stop at the dot. You may now color the fruits a lovely color. Remember, fruits have all different colors. Let's move on to page 28. For this one, I would like you to sit still and just look at the picture very carefully before you start coloring. Let's look at the numbers. Remember, yesterday we did all the numbers up to number 5. We counted from 1 up to 5. Now, I would like you to look at the picture. They give us some pencils at the top of the page, and they say which colors we may color the picture. For all the number 1s, we find all the fishes with number 1, and we make them a lovely green color. Remember, we said the cucumber has a lovely green color, the watermelon has a lovely green color. Number 2s, find all the fishes with number 2 and make them a lovely blue color. Now, let's move on to number 3. Find all the fishes with number 3 and make them a lovely yellow color. Let's remember that a banana is yellow, a starfruit is yellow, the sun is also yellow. Let's move on to number 4. Find all the fishes with number 4 in it and color them red. Remember, we said a cherry is a lovely red, and remember, we have a red apple also. Thank you, friends. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed connecting all the dots on the similarities on the fruits and the letter K. Now let's turn to page 29. On page 29, we'll see they would want us to find the correct number, the correct total for each picture. Now, let's just count again, just to remind ourselves of our numbers. Let's count to number 5. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, friends, I have a little bit of a challenge for you because I included some bigger numbers just to see if you would be able to do this yourself. Now, let's look at the page. If you look carefully, let's count the glasses that we have in the first picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I would like you to find number 4. Remember we did number 4? We said 4 wheels on a car, 4 legs on a cow. Now find number 4 and circle number 4. I'm going to leave you now to finish the apples, the kiwis, and the balls on your own. Remember to count and circle the correct number. Now you may move over to page 30. I would like us, before we look at the page 30, let's first just look at our numbers again. Well, if we look at our numbers and we want to find the number that comes before, let's say, for example, number 2. If we look at number 2 and we ask, what comes before number 2? Remember we talk about the previous thing. What did we do before? The previous thing. What number did we mention first? So now, if we look at number 2, what comes before number 2? We go back and we say it's number 1. Let's look at number 5. If we think of what previous number comes before 5, if we count down the line, before we come to 5, what number do we say before we come to 5? We would look back and say it's number 4. So what comes before the 5? It's number 4. Now, if you move to page 30, you'll see on page 30, look at the butterfly, number 8. This one is quite a big challenge for you. You may count, you may use counters, and you can place them in front of you in one straight line. Now, as you count, see what number comes before 8. Well, I'm not going to help you to fill in that one. You are going to do that one all on your own. I hope you enjoy the lessons on your numbers. Friends, I hope you enjoyed the lessons we did on finding the matching pair and on finding the correct numbers and on the letter K. I also hope you enjoyed finding the number before. Remember we said if you want to find the matching one, just look closely at the pictures. Remember to count. Remember letter K has a straight back with sideways kicks. And remember to count your objects, and you may make the number line for yourself from number 1 up to 10, and it can help you to find the number that comes before the number. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, but before we say goodbye for today, let's sanitize our hands. We take our sanitizer, we spray it on our hands, and we rub it between our hands, and then at the back of our hands, and between our fingers, and we give our hands a lovely squishy squashy all round, and we are set and sanitized. Joshi! Joshi!
Hi everyone, I'm Josie and I'm back. Even though the schools are closed, I thought about we can still do online classes, learning and reading. You can also do your schoolwork. Until next time, bye!
I'm feeling so bad because of I have been arrested. We are trying to sell to provide our kids with food, but the police, they come to arrest us.
I was literally apprehended in Independence Avenue. I mean, there was no prior communications with the police or with Bonn or Bang Namibia. These guys literally just apprehended us on surprise.
And when you are talking in a manner that is exaggerated about brutality in this country, I should ask you in which country you live.
Yes, I can confirm that indeed there were 2 cell phones that were found after a search was conducted at the cells that the Fish Road accused us staying.
Do you understand the amount of money that the government has spent on the fight against COVID-19? Could they have spent 300 million on tracing people and managing people? Is that even possible?
Scientists are racing to find a COVID-19 vaccine. Creating a vaccine usually takes years, sometimes even decades. More than 150 vaccine candidates are being developed worldwide. Some of the trials furthest ahead have produced encouraging results. Several possible vaccines appear to have produced an immune response with antibodies, T cells, and no serious side effects. Antibodies are protective proteins that fight infections in the body. Some T cells kill infected cells. Others help B cells to make the right antibodies to fight a virus. It's uncertain how long immunity to COVID-19 would last. 6 other human coronaviruses have been known about for years. Natural immunity for the most common 4 is quite short-lived and generally lasts a few years. A COVID-19 vaccine could require booster jabs after years or even months. Scientists are using a variety of methods to make a vaccine. Several human trials are creating vaccines using the genetic code of the virus. Other human trials, and some with animals, are trying more traditional methods, such as using a weakened or inactive virus. This variety might lead to more than one type of vaccine. Having several could actually be very useful, as each one may be more effective among different people. Despite the promising progress, it's not guaranteed